External validation feels really good, doesn't it? You feel like somebody else sees what it is that you're doing, sees what it is, how you're trying to carry yourself. You feel seen, right? It's very validating. Feels very good. I think we need to acknowledge that before we talk about developing confidence deep down inside you. Living from the inside out is what we talk about with your level fitness. But like before we dive into it, like let's just acknowledge that it feels good when other people see us. And if it doesn't, if you don't, it doesn't matter how centered or grounded or connected to yourself you are. When somebody else notices what you're doing, you feel good. And if you don't feel good, I think you're actually trying to convince yourself that you don't feel good, but really you do. But by the way, trying to convince yourself that external validation doesn't make you feel good is actually a smart thing based off of what we're going to talk about. But it does feel good, right? So like the main if your validation, if your confidence comes from or if your confidence comes from how others perceive you, it's fleeting, it's up and down, it's not consistent, it's not it's very temporary. um if you are working to appreciate things about yourself, and I think the deeper the things the better, the stuff inside you, the characteristics of you as a person, if you start there, if you truly appreciate and love who you are as a person, and then you start, you do work outwardly, you do work to accomplishments and titles and physical appearance and all of this stuff, you should be proud of what you accomplish, should be. But your identity shouldn't be rooted in it, your confidence shouldn't be rooted in things outside of yourself, because when we're looking at stuff outside of us, that stuff is going to fluctuate. It's not going to be consistent. And then our mood and how we feel about ourselves is going every which direction. So, but I do think we have to acknowledge that it feels good when people see what we're doing and acknowledge what we're doing. You know, it's so external validation in itself isn't the problem necessarily, but depending on it for your self-worth and your confidence is. And genuine confidence is based on appreciating yourself and trusting yourself. Appreciating yourself means you can look at the stuff that's going on around you, and while yes, we have to pay attention to how people react and respond to us, which is will tell us a story on how we're showing up in certain scenarios and situations. There's some finesse and nuance to that, but we can get really good information from how we're coming off to people in the world. Um, but by and large, what's going on around us, we can get to a point where that's not largely not impacting how we feel about ourselves. It's a very it's the opposite of probably how most of us view confidence. And I can tell you, as somebody again working in the fitness space, but also working in marketing and advertising, and the way that most marketing is all about getting you to feel something, to identify with a product, a service, or an idea. Now, with all of the stuff that I do, your level fitness and otherwise, the core feeling that I want you to get is belief within yourself, appreciation of yourself. I don't like that the fitness industry markets against the insecurities that we have about our bodies and ourselves. So we're going to do the opposite. That's what we do. Um, so, but when industries are built on you chasing things outside of yourself and not feeling good about yourself without whatever that thing is, it's very understandable that you have the belief that you do, that their opinion matters, that their opinion, whoever they are, you know who they are, right? Like they probably came right to mind for you, but that their opinion is is what drives the confidence and drives the belief and the worth. So we're going to fix that. And how you fix that is you really just work to take stock of what is important to you. It's going to take a lot of time to untangle this, probably, because again, you've been conditioned to like think a lot of stuff has to happen from outside of you. That's got to be the foundation of this stuff. But if you're connected with yourself and you look at again what you appreciate about yourself as a person, and then you start working outwardly, you take this inside out approach. Okay. You're much more grounded. You'll be much more centered. And then when you get to the compliments, the validation, being seen by other people, it feels good in the moment. And then you're back to center the vast majority of the time. I do want to call out that you're probably not ever going to be 100% in this headspace of living an inside out life, because we all have experienced years, decades, most of our life feeling the exact opposite. So those thoughts and feelings don't 100% go away. One thing that I like to talk about is I try to have I try to stay in this calm headspace, moving at a deliberate pace, what I call it, 85% of the time. That gives me, and I don't track it. Like I don't know the exact percentages of how I did on this last week, last month, last year, any of that. But if I'm saying, okay, if my thoughts start jumping, I can say, all right, this must be part of that other 15%. The 85% and the 15% are just very specific numbers that I can call out. And when I call them out, my brain is just like, okay, it helps me wrap my mind around it. So, but it's giving myself permission when my brain jumps to pull myself back to center, which again is me showing that, okay, I'm trusting myself here. I'm trusting myself to be able to pull myself together and get to where it is that I want to be, and how I want to approach things. It takes practice. I will say the journal prompts that I send out during the week, those will help. So those are linked up. You can find those. And basically what we do is we take a central theme for the week, I send it out to you, and these questions are usually 3 to 4 levels deep. So you have a question, there's a follow-up to it, another follow-up to it, and follow-up to it. It's completely designed for you to connect to yourself, and then what we talk about on Monday usually influences what we do on Tuesday, which Monday and Tuesday can then influence Wednesday. It's very structured and systematic, but it's also individualized to whatever the theme is that we're talking about at that particular week. So it's really designed for you to be connected with yourself. As you will probably hear in much of my content, I'm a big advocate for therapy. If you can find the right therapist for you, it changes everything. Gym and therapy. There you go. So yeah, but real, genuine confidence really starts with how you see yourself and how you choose to appreciate yourself. It's a very straightforward, easy concept, harder to put in practice just because of the way the world is, but we're working to change that. So that is what I have for you. So if you're listening on the podcast feed and you're brand new, welcome. If you like what you're hearing, please go ahead and subscribe. And then once you've subscribed, please rate and review wherever it is that you're listening. And then share the episode with somebody you think that would appreciate hearing it. If you're on YouTube, welcome. I didn't really point at you there. Welcome. And if you like what you're watching, then please go ahead and subscribe, and then share the video with someone that you think would also like to watch it. YouTube's also going to recommend a video for you here. If you want to check that out, go ahead, but don't spend too much time on the rabbit hole. I got a lot of content. Don't spend a ton of time on it though, because I'm reinforcing this message for you to appreciate and live your life from the inside out and be connected with yourself. And what I want you to do more than anything is to just go out and apply this in your life. So I don't spend too much time watching content. But anyway, so that is what I have for you. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you again real soon.